All right, YouTube. Once again, it's Kennard Vernon Stewart here for the podcast talking Auburn football. Just minutes away from Auburn surrendering a 24-13 loss to the Florida Gators down in the swamp. And it was actually a very interesting ball game between both football teams. You talk about a situation where Auburn and Florida both made pretty much every mistake possible and put themselves in a position where it just didn't work out. I think the game plan was I think Gus Malzahn got away from the game plan because some things that he saw in Bo Nix, he was basically trying to make him into a game manager. And then no, it's not necessarily the same old Gus. You got to look at it this way. You got a freshman quarterback. You're trying to keep him in the football game, and it just didn't work out. I mean, Bo Nix was clearly not ready for that crowd, clearly not ready for the pressure. The defense did their job. That's one thing we can rest our laurels on moving forward, is the fact that the Auburn defense will continue to put Auburn in positions to be successful. But, I mean, come on. It just did not work out for the Tigers. Auburn now surrendering their first loss in the SEC with one loss. But the good news is this. It's a one-loss game to a team that is from the SEC East. Takes me back to 2017 where Auburn, lost the game but still had a chance. So we can't write this. I think it's absolutely ridiculous to write this particular season off. I think it's a bad loss to take. But just look at Georgia from last year. 2000, what was it? 2018 last year. Georgia goes down into Death Valley, takes on LSU, and just got his helmets knocked off. But then he recovered, winds up in the SEC championship game, although losing to LSU. I mean, it just is what it is. I think for the Auburn fan base, to go ahead and write Auburn off after it was just a bad game for both teams. Somebody had to win this one. Turns out Florida pulled it off, but I mean, this was a hard football game to watch. And, I think, it's just one of those things, man. It's just if you've been around football long enough, you understand that a game like this is bound to happen. Bo Nix didn't get a lot of things to go his way. The whole game was absolutely sloppy, but that play where LaMichael P. Ryan, made that big play, that was just the dagger. And it caught the Auburn Tigers off guard. It really did. But we absolutely cannot give up. I think Auburn played a really solid game, but it was just sloppy SEC play, just to be honest with you. Because just as Auburn lost this game, Florida could have lost this game as well. Now, the thing is this. Where do you go from here? Where do you go from here? Gus Malzahn, I'm not ready to, crown him or down him, but this just wasn't a good point for Gus Malzahn. I think he was in a position where, some things that he thought was going to work didn't. He caught himself in a hostile situation trying to, manage a real shaky situation, and it just didn't work out. Auburn is now 5-1, going into a bye week, of course. You're talking about going 6-1, being 6-1, going into the LSU game with an opportunity to correct some things. So, I mean, I'll say this for all the Auburn fans out there. If you want to go ahead and write the season off because of this particular game, you weren't ready for this season anyway. Because this Auburn team was not going to go undefeated. And nope, this game was absolutely not on Gus. Gus does not cause a kickoff return, a punt return guy to fumble the kickoff. You know what I'm saying? To fumble the punt return. That's not on Gus. That's just execution. That's how the cookie crumbles. Because I guarantee you, when Georgia was in the national championship game, nobody was looking back at the Auburn game in Jordan-Hare Stadium and saying that, nah, you all are not going to do that, man. You all are not going to do that. You all are not going to call Tut trash. You all are not going to call the offensive line trash or Gus trash when you guys have been supporting this thing all the way through. And now that we take a loss, y'all going to come with some bullshit like that. That is bullshit. Bullshit. And you can unsubscribe to my channel if you don't like it, because that is bullshit. So either way, I love you guys, but don't come with that bullshit winning. And then just because some things happen, now you want to say that Christian Tut sucks? I mean, come on, man. We can't do that. We absolutely cannot do that. But either way, I understand though. I want to give a big war eagle to all the guys, involved. And I really, I hate this for our guys, man. Especially for the guys that come back, the seniors, Derek Brown, Marlon Davidson, all of those guys. And I really hope they don't do the whole, I hope they don't give up, because they still have a lot ahead here. Because whether we like it or not, before the 5-0 start, we figured, hey, man, these guys are a doggone, New Year's Six bowl at best. So let's rally behind the guys. Yes, I mean, it was a bad game for, both teams. It was just bad. I mean, just very all balanced. What sucks is Florida fan. Yeah, Florida sucks. Florida sucks, and I'm going to say that publicly. They suck. I don't give a shit if they beat us or not. They suck. So, yep, it's a guy on another YouTube channel that was talking about. Yes, I'm keeping that same energy, my man. I'm keeping it. Y'all suck. Steele has been dealing with Gus for too long. He should go somewhere. Yeah. I mean, I get all that, but Florida sucks. Congratulations on the win tonight, but you still got to see LSU next week. That's a L. You still got to see Georgia. That's a L. Auburn is better equipped down the stretch to handle all these type situations. So if Auburn doesn't do it, that's on Auburn, but Auburn has the personnel to do so. Congratulations to the Florida Gators, and I'm not even saying this on no bitterness type stuff. I started at the beginning of the week saying that Florida sucks, and I'm going to say at the end of the week that I think Florida sucks. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. I think they suck. If we play y'all tomorrow, we'll beat you, probably. You suck. Now, just like David Porter says, Florida's defensive line was definitely the key to this game. They caused a lot of disruption. I think they really were the key to this game. They really got Bo Nix rattled. They really caused some, some very, very huge complications with, Auburn's offensive line. And like I said before, I appreciate you guys tuning in tonight. And, this is a win that I really wanted, because this takes me back all the way to my college days when we used to beat up on Florida in 2001, then got the 3 straight. And, it's just a tough loss. I mean, it just really is a tough loss. But I just wanted to let the Auburn fan base know that we're going to keep this thing going. Like, it's 5-1. The whole season is ahead. We got, I think, Arkansas next. Bye week. Still got some content coming. And I want that guy, though, the Florida guy, want the Florida guy to come back with the whole, keep that in. Yeah, I got the same energy, my man. Got the same energy. Florida still sucks. Great win, but Florida sucks. And one thing we got to remember is that, what's going on, Chief? What's up, Nuke? War Eagle. But anyway, we got to keep it going. Auburn is still, got to keep improving in a lot of area. And, it is what it is. Great win for the Florida Gators, 24-13. They proved that, they're a little bit better than Towson. Good win for them last week. Took advantage of a lot of opportunities here tonight. I think it was a nice SEC game. Bo had a very tough game. Very, very tough game. Oh, man. I don't think we got the ball around enough to our playmakers. Gus kind of pulled the reins back a little too quick. Tough loss for Gus. Hopefully, the whole hot seat thing, doesn't surface too tough for him. See, this is one of those games I think Gus could have won. I mean, I think Auburn definitely has to look for a situation to where, you know, I get it. Bo Nix will potentially be a great player, but I mean the way he responded in this particular situation was very, very abysmal. All right, guys, Auburn taking their first loss of the year, 24-13 down in the Swamp. They said the Swamp was a tough place to play, proved to be so. Rattled the Auburn offense. Couple of mistakes were made, kind of similar to the 2017 Georgia Bulldogs, who made every mistake possible to lose to Auburn, but then went on to the national championship game only to lose to Alabama in the final seconds. So the season is not over, but yet and still a disappointing loss. Go ahead and like this video, comment, and subscribe to Vernon Speak Sports Auburn. I am absolutely pissed off at this loss, but we have to move on. War Eagle.